Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is December the 13th, 2024. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Ooh, spooky in December. Jingle bells, jingle bells. I don't know. Hopefully this episode finds you in a good place, in a good space. Even if it's not on a Friday. I know I've been kind of recording late lately. So, hopefully this energy catches you. To be completely honest with you, I have like a IV monster just drip right now, pretty much, just like flowing into my veins directly just to keep me awake. I'm pretty tired. Like I kind of mentioned it when I was like yapping away on social media a little bit, but the burnout is real. Like I don't want to say I'm at my wits end because I do feel like I'm in a good place, good spirits, but I'm just so tired. Like, and it's a mental tired, it's a physical tired. Excuse me. So, that's definitely the rough part. That's the rub. But overall, and then also the break room, they're just running right into the whole construction remodel thing. So like now half the break room is just like you can't use it. Like everything's gone now. My locker has been moved. I've been like running out like out of like a big jacket with all my stuff, like all my like little snacks and stuff now. It's a bit harried. But that being said, I want to explain why, maybe you might have noticed the episode yesterday, maybe a little bit off, a little weird. I had to take a day off. And so I had to kind of do a double record. I'm sure I mentioned it, but like, it's one of those things where I definitely didn't like that, but it was for good reasons. I went to a wedding, y'all. It was fun. I gotta say, when I heard that there was gonna be a wedding on a Thursday, I was like, that's crazy. That's very interesting. I can't imagine having a wedding on a Thursday, and I can't imagine going to one and then going to work the next day because I have to get my money. Give me my money. But that being said, after I got over the whole, like I said, the burnout, the anxiety, all that shit, and not to mention, this is one of my good friends. He was actually a former coworker, and now he's doing, he's at another spot doing his own thing, but he got married and it was so cool. It was so nice to see him, some of the homies. It was a really amazing ceremony. Like, and I'm sorry, but I love when I see like my homie and like he's just getting choked up. He's crying. I'm like, oh, he really loves her. She's the one. It just felt good. And it was overall a really good time. So like, I don't know, it was a blast. I really loved it. So yeah, it overall was a good cause, a good reason to have to, do, a bit of a day off. So, it is what it is, right? But that being said, we're back at it. We're back in the habit, baby. Let's see. I want to do food corner before I guess I do more of the details. We're going to switch it up a little bit on my day to day. But food corner from last night was food at the wedding, at the reception. I'm just going to try to, run through these real quick from memory. We had rolls. We had rice. We had green beans. We had fish with big capers, like capers almost the size of a marble on these things. Love that. We had chicken. We had pasta. And we also had a nice salad, already tossed. Love that. Yummy. All good. Also, open fucking bar, baby. Love that. We love an open bar, man. So cool. That being said, I feel like I was good. I was a good lad. I just had one pass on the food, and then I had one beer. I just had a Bud Light. You know what I mean? That's practically a diet, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, overall, we ate good. It was fun. I got to take some good pictures, got to be a part of some good memories. It was a good ass fucking time. As for today was good. And this is an important thing actually. See, so I left a little bit earlier from the reception because y'all best believe I haven't missed a goddamn day at the gym since I started. Since like September 2nd. And now, like I said, it's Friday the fucking 13th. I've gone to the gym every fucking day. So for the first time, I had my first like night workout. Like, I don't want to say it was like late night. It was like around 9 o'clock ish. And oh, I loved it. I loved it. Like, I had initially had a plan of I'm gonna come in here and maybe just do a little bit, just hit it, just do a like half and half, half of my cardio, half of my weight training, whatever, and we'll call it a night. I got in there and there was like barely anyone there. And like y'all already know, at the top of the week, I was fighting for fucking equipment. So I was just a hog in shit. I was a hog in heaven. Like, I was so excited. I couldn't leave. I just couldn't leave. You had to peel me out of there. Also, we clutched up because I came through. I had my whole little outfit. I felt like I was looking pretty good. So, there's that. Like, had a navy blue button up with a polka dot. I had some black pants. And then it was a sneaker theme wedding. So that was cute. That was fun. And so I had some just Reebok trainers on. It was a little bit of a look. I thought I liked it. I thought I looked pretty good. It was cold, so I had to come in with the beanie. And I figured since I'm already rocking some sneakers, Uncle Grandpa got to come through the fanny pack. You feel me? So, it had to happen. So, needless to say, and I have never mentioned this, but I always keep a fanny on, even in the gym. So this was the first time that I couldn't rock the fanny because I had a nicer fanny pack on. Felt a little awkward with that, but overall it was good. But my problem was I get to the locker, I'm putting everything up, and I realize, I'm like, Isaiah, you stupid idiot, you don't have a shirt. And I'm like, uh-oh, because I'm not working out in this nice little polka dot shirt. Nah, no way, no how. So I go back out. And the same person who got me the water bottle, if you remember the water bottle, then okay, all right, you remember that story. You're a longtime listener. Awesome, love that. But I said, hey, yo, like, I don't have a shirt. And I came in with honest intentions. I was like, can I just buy a shirt? Because they have literally, at Planet Fitness, they have merch. Like, they advertise it. They got beanies. They got little shirts all folded up. And I'm like, yeah, can I just buy a shirt? And they're like, oh no, we don't really have one for you. And I was like, and I'm immediately like, cutting my losses. I'm about to go home. And she goes, oh, well, you can just have a shirt. I was like, are you saying, oh, okay. And so she just give me one of the shirts. And so now I have a Planet Fitness shirt that I completely sweated through, of course. But overall, it was a great day. It was awesome. Like, do you ever have those moments when, like, you try to lay down at the end of the night and, like, you're so hype on the day, like, everything that happened, that it's, like, hard to go to sleep? Of course you have, right? I'm surely not the only person. That last night was one of those. So it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth all the effort, because I literally got off of work and I was like, Isaiah, can I do this? Do I physically have the wherewithal? Because I'm so tired. I'm so burnt. Like, maybe I'm like, no, you're going to do this for a fucking homie. You wouldn't miss this for anything. And I didn't, and I'm so glad I didn't. So, yeah, there's that. And, yeah, today was good. It was, pretty normal. I will say I'm dog tired, y'all. I really am. I know I already said that, but, like, if you hear me lacking or slacking or slipping up today, just blame it on the fatigue, okay? I really need to rest, and, it's just not coming because I got to work tomorrow, you know what I mean? So it just is what it is. I just got to ho through all this bullshit, and then we're going to be good. I'm going to take some time, hopefully make some things happen, but, we'll talk about that when we get there, no? Anyway, let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's get into some news. Let's hit that hard shit. Okay. Ooh, Monster and a beer. That's a fun mix. Oh wow. Okay. From NPR, A gang leader in Haiti is accused of massacring over 100 people. A gang leader who controls a key port in Haiti's capital is accused of massacring older people and voodoo religious leaders in his community to avenge his son's death. According to the government and human rights organizations, the estimate is more than 100 people. Now, I mean, I've heard this number go as high as 184, I believe, to maybe even around 127. It just varies. No one has exact numbers. It's very hard to verify this. Excuse me. But I believe the gang leader is Micanor Altez, also known as Monel Felix and Wa Mikano. And it's claimed that there's more than 100 victims. But essentially, his son was sick, and he goes to, seek help for his son, and his son, despite him seeking help from like a voodoo, priest or, someone to that effect, his son still dies. And so he says, that's not on nature. That's on y'all. Y'all fucked up. Y'all tried to kill him. Y'all killed my son. It's on y'all. So essentially, he rounds up all the old people, all the elderly, and people he thinks are very proficient or known to be very proficient in voodoo, and he kills them. He just fucking kills them. Execution. And also then puts a travel ban out of the community so that he can potentially do more silent killings post the kind of massacre. So I don't know why I said kind of massacre. They never do that. They never say, Valentine's Day sort of massacre. They just say massacre. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's very fucked up, very depraved. I mean, there's just been a lot of stories like this kind of coming out of Haiti, maybe not so much with the voodoo angle per se with the son, but like definitely you just have a powerful gang leader saying, you know what, it's time for me to make a move, it's time for me to do a thing, and they act with violence like this. Or you have a situation where you finally say, you have the town, like people in, XY town or whatever in Haiti saying enough's enough, and they fucking round up said gang leader or round up a gang or, affiliate person, whatever, or they just start fighting back. You know what I mean? They start taking matters into their own hands. We also have, Kenyan, the special Kenyan police force. They're there. Actually, that's part of the thumbnail I used. It's like a Kenyan, police officer dude or whatever. So, I mean, things are still very kinetic in Haiti, and I definitely felt bad. I feel like this is a story from last week, and I wasn't reminded about it until I was listening to last podcast on the left, like side stories, and I was like, damn, like they even caught that story, and I didn't. I fucked up. Where I fuck up, and it's just... I mean, it's busy time. There's a lot of news. So, I mean, these things happen. But I was like, let me not let this slip any further from the cracks. Let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit, even if it is just a little bit of a riff. But let's move on. Let's take it to Syria. A lot of shit's going on out of Syria right now. CBS News. Man identifying himself as American Travis Timmerman found in Syria after being freed from prison. So this was pretty big news, obviously, from at least from the American POV. You have an American prisoner in Syria. Like, what? How did you get here? What's going on? So let's go ahead and dive in. A man identifying himself as an American from Missouri. So yeah, shout out to a state local, even though, I'm a Missouri-born, Ohio-raised motherfucker. You gotta give credit where credit is due. Props. Travis Timmerman was found Thursday in Syria after he was freed from a prison earlier in the week when longtime dictator Bashar al-Assad was forced from power by a shock rebel offensive. Timmerman told CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer that he had been trying to make his own way out of the country after walking out of the prison where he had been held for more than half a year. He said he was detained upon entering Syria without permission 7 months ago after spending a month in neighboring Lebanon. Now, apparently he was there for quote-unquote spiritual reasons. I'm not trying to shade dude or anything like that. It just seems weird to me. Like, you're doing this whole little spiritual pilgrimage quest, whatever you're on, and you say, hey, fuck it, fuck man's laws. Actually, I'm just going to cross this border illegally, technically, and just do my thing, do my spiritual thing. And then he gets fucking apprehended. He gets thrown in prison. And he says, though, he wasn't treated too badly. I think he said the worst thing was that he wasn't able to use the restroom when he wanted. And I know for me, that would be torture. Whenever I can't get to a restroom or I get to the restroom and both stalls are taken and I've traversed a whole warehouse and I have to stand there, I feel like a prisoner in that situation. No, I'm not good. I'm being held captive by the people in that stall and my bowels. So no way, no how, good sir. Please free me. I need to break loose. I need to free the beast on that toilet seat. But Timmerman said 2 men armed with AK-47s broke his prison door down Monday with a hammer. My door was busted down. It woke me up, Timmerman said. I thought the guards were still there, so I thought the warfare could have been more active than it ended up being. Once we got out, there was no resistance. There was no real fighting. Timmerman said he had gone to Syria for Christian spiritual purposes and that his experience in prison wasn't too bad. And we talked about the whole bathroom thing. He also said that he kind of had to he just proceeded to walk it out and didn't really want to ask for help. But he said a lot of people would come up to him and, offer assistance and help him out. And then eventually, people came up to him and, he's like, yeah, you're an American. Like, we got to, make sure you're good, make sure you're okay. We got to try to get you back. Now, America, we've been appraised of this. We're on it. I imagine we're going to be in the process of trying to get him home. But I mean, this is a well-traveled man. He's been all over. I think apparently he has, the bulletin said the date of his last contact had been in June 2nd of 2024, and he was 29 years old when he went missing. But I mean, yeah, they were looking for him. The initial missing person bulletin was published by Hungarian police in August. And I think they were looking for him in Budapest or whatever. Or at least that's where he was maybe last seen or something to that effect. Maybe getting that a little muddled or what have you. But one thing I did want to mention was there's this journalist that goes by the name of Austin Tice. He was a person who was speaking out just against some of the stuff that was going on in Syria. He was, working as a journalist in the area. I think kind of like a freelance kind of situation. And he was apprehended, went missing, and no one had heard from him. So when they initially heard the description, it matched Tice, and people initially thought that Timmerman was that guy. And so, I mean, people are still wondering, still, concerned about that part. But it's good to see, someone at least be found and be found safe. I know in a lot of these situations that I've been listening to, when it comes to people coming out of Syrian prisons, a lot of people are coming out dead. And it's really sad to I can't imagine being a family member and you're holding on against all hope that your loved one, the person that was just taken away from you, is at the very least alive. Obviously, they've been through hell and then some. But maybe, just fucking maybe, you can see them again, whole, alive, here. And then you finally get a chance, this monumental moment finally happens and you get a chance to see them again and you just get a record of something and that's about it. You know what I mean? And I know I mentioned before, a little bit offhand about this, the situation in Syria with the prisons. It's so bad. And I mentioned too with the idea of maybe there's secret hidden cells and things of that nature. That might be a thing, but that there's also so many times where that's a rumor. You know what I mean? And you don't know. A lot of shit has gotten so bad in Syria, has been so bad in Syria that these kind of things escalated to that point where you're thinking, well, okay, maybe they're literally under the jail. You know what I mean? Maybe they're in some secret cell in some kind of random tunnel in this jail. But I mean, we don't know. And the answer might be leaning towards more not that. So, obviously, it's a very tumultuous situation going on in Syria, and I'm gonna try to keep us posted as best as I can. Let's go ahead and move on to France, Gay Paris, if you will. Actually, I'm gonna take a little quick water break. But our next story is from France 24. All right. Reducing France's debt is moral obligation, says new French Prime Minister Francois Bayrou. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong, but I like it. I feel like I said it right enough. Man, you know what? Maybe I'm calling it. Maybe I'm saying it, but Macron likes some old. He likes some old dudders, bro. And I said what I said there. You take it and you run it all the way down the flagpole. I mean it, and up the flagpole. He likes some old. And I mean, hey, I'm not yucking anybody's yum, but hey, do you, buddy? But I don't know. I feel like we need to put him on the couch and talk about that. Like, do you not? Well, that's not true. I think he did pick like a young guy first, right? Yeah, like way back. Yeah, before the interim guys or whatever. So maybe I'm reading too into it. But you really do like him old. Anyway, French President Emmanuel Macron named centrist politician Francois Bayrou as the country's new prime minister on Friday after ongoing Premier Michel Barnier resigned last week following a no confidence vote in the National Assembly. Bayrou's nomination came after Macron held 2 days of meetings with party leaders to agree on a candidate who can bridge divides and pass a budget for next year. The meetings at the Elysee Palace excluded both the far-right National Party and the hard-left France Unbowed. So it's like, then what? Like, then you didn't include anybody, because these are the people who decided whether or not Barnier was going to stay or go. And literally, these are still the two people that are like, if this new motherfucker comes in and says some shit that we really don't like, off with his head. It's just that easy, brother. Like, you do not have the juice that you think you do. I really think Macron thinks he's some kind of power bottom here, and that he can just keep putting these fucking old fuddy-duddies in, and they'll just do what he asks, and they'll ramrod some fucking debt thing in, and it's like, yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And it's like, brother, I know that's how this is your strategy for your lame duck session till, whenever you're done, but like, it's not working anymore. You had to concede and work with the left because you could not beat the fucking far right, motherfuckers. You're stuck. You're stuck here, dead in the middle. I don't care if you think it's clowns to the left of you and jokers to the right. You have to fucking make a deal one way or the fucking other. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no. My G is going to probably continue to do lukewarm fucking policies, pick lukewarm motherfucking guys to do his lukewarm motherfucking bidding and get nowhere. And just make people mad. So, I mean, it's whatever. If he wants to keep shooting himself in the fucking foot, go off. Blow it, baby. But, it is what it is. I don't know, man. Y'all know how I feel about Macron. Y'all know how I feel about these goddamn centrists. I'm not rooting for the right to get any kind of foothold or gain any more power. Of fucking course not. But that's also been allowed by Macron and his fucking actions, by his fucking policies that he's just been forcing through, and the bullshit that he's not getting done for people. So, the chips are going to fall where they fucking may. I don't know what else to say on that matter. You know what I mean? But I'll definitely keep you posted. Fuck Macron, fuck Barnier, fuck this Bayrou motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Fuck Marie Le Pen, fuck the right too, obviously. Goddamn. But yeah, that's where I'll leave that. Call that covered. I'm just trying to move through this shit. We have one more thing. Kind of skipping along here. How about that? Maybe this is my second win. Maybe I'm getting it. Maybe the monster's actually hidden. All right, let's go ahead and do our last story for the day. And then we'll close it out. We'll be done. We'll be good. We can get on about our weekend. How's that sound? But pardon me while I burst into flames. Anyway, let me do that and we'll get into it. Ooh wee. Oh. All right. From NBC News, I should say. Oh. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Biden's clemency and pardon list includes former elected official, lawyers, and medical bill company owner. So, all kinds of motherfuckers. A country commissioner who was convicted of taking nearly $500,000 worth of bribes, including a stone-fired pizza oven, a tax attorney wrapped up in the biggest tax fraud prosecution ever, and the owner of a Detroit area Medicare billing company who orchestrated a $26 million Medicare fraud. All had their federal sentences commuted by President Joe Biden on Thursday in the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. Biden commuted close to 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people in a sweeping and historic act for people who had been convicted of nonviolent crimes, many related to illegal drugs, and released from prison more than a year ago under a pandemic-era law, the CARES Act, to limit crowding in federal prisons. Many of those who received pardons had long ago completed their sentences, but the crimes will now be wiped from their records. I think this is officially my second wave of covering pardons, so it's kind of been interesting, right? I know we've talked about it a little bit with the the random motherfuckers Trump pardoned or what have you. These kind of felt more or less like, okay, I expected a lot of these out of Biden or what have you. But it definitely got me thinking just about how I feel about this whole process. And it's like, overall, I think it's a great thing. Ooh, that was bad. I'm sorry. I know I probably did that in some of y'all's ear. Me bad. Overall, I think it's a good thing. Like, at the end of the day, I think this is a good process to say, hey, I'm going to circumvent the system that we all know is kind of fucked up. It's kind of goddamn jetty. So let me go ahead and throw a bone to some people and, we'll call it a fucking term. How's that sound? But it's one of those things where it definitely, like, it has me thinking about the people, like, who you let go, who you don't let go. You know what I mean? And then just the idea of, like, seeing, like, motherfuckers, like, actually, I'll just smash right to it. In Ohio, a former Cuyahoga County Commissioner, Jimmy DeMora, served more than a decade in prison on corruption charges before Biden commuted his sentence Thursday. Prosecutors said DeMora orchestrated a sweeping pay-to-play scheme alongside a longtime political ally, former Cuyahoga County Auditor Frank Russo, to collect about $450,000 in bribes that included gambling trips to Las Vegas and Canada, prostitutes, and even a stone-fired oven. I think guys like that should keep their shit. Like, yeah, you got your shit done. You went through your shit. You should hold that L, bro. Like, I don't want to see that wiped out. But at the same time, I want to see people who go through, like, and get marijuana, charges and catch those cases to get their shit pardoned or, to get clemency, to get their shit commuted. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's my bias. That's how I view it and what I think. Like, these crimes are less and they should be treated as such. These are people who are way more victimized by the system. And the other guys who are doing these white-collar fraud crimes, I think there was a couple ladies that were doing, like, some big money schemes, making, like, a lot of money. Like, I think they should keep their fucking sentence, or at least keep their fucking, crimes from their jacket. I don't think that it should be waived off. But at the same time, if they did their part, everything kind of went by the book for them, who am I to say, no, you shouldn't? Because at the end of the day, the system is still fucked. And a lot of times you're just making examples out of these white collar guys and gals and saying, hey, you were really bad and we're going to really wrap your fucking knuckles. So hopefully no one does this again, knowing damn well so many other motherfuckers are doing it again and they're probably doing it worse than the motherfucker you got. I know that. I'm aware of that. So that's why I guess when I think about it a little too hard, maybe I get a little bit torn about it. I think at the end of the day, it really doesn't fucking matter. I could wake up one day and a guy like Kodak Black could just be in jail for doing the worst shit and then just be out. And, next thing you know, he's on Kai's and that stream. It just, that's how the shit goes sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't make the rules. Sometimes, it's an orange guy named Donald Trump. So it is what it is. And I mean, come January, we're about to be so motherfucking back. I mean, I don't say that with too much joy, but at the same time, I know that I'm probably not going to be bored. I'm probably going to have a lot of things to talk about. I mean, just speaking of Trump right now, he mentioned that he wants to get rid of daylight savings. And it's like, yeah, buddy, I know. We've been through this rodeo before. You going to actually do it, though? Is this just one of your many promises? Like, whatever. We'll see. I'll definitely keep you posted. And we'll see if Biden gives any more pardons or grants any more, clemency or whatever. There's been talk, like I said, about the preemptive pardons for people that Trump has a vendetta for. And I'll tell you what, I guess I don't even want to give someone like Adam Schiff too much credit. I mean, it is what it is. He's a Democrat. That's cool, I guess. But, he said if he got a pardon from Biden, he might not even take it, which I'm like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? Just take it. Just fucking take it. He's like, I don't think the president should be focused on that. What do you want the president to be focused on? He's a lame duck. He's about to be out of here in like less than a fucking month, right? Like, what are we talking about, bro? If he gave you a pardon, you would have take that shit like a get out of jail free card. What the? Just whatever, dog. Like saying shit like that out loud is playing for points in a way that I don't fucking give a shit about. Like, you're not impressing me, bro. Like, just take it. Speaking of shift, and I'm just talking about politicians, and this is like random news. Nancy Pelosi caught an injury. I literally did not care because she's not dead. So, Reaper, you missed one. So it is what it is. Her and her fun bags are going to be fine. I don't know why I mentioned that with Nancy. I got to stop doing that. That's problematic. But she's okay, I think, or she might be okay. Actually, let me just Google it. I can just literally Google it right now. I have the power of technology at my fingertips. Nancy Pelosi. Let's see. Hospitalized. Oh, shit. This was her and her shining smile. Nancy Pelosi in the hospital after injury on an overseas trip. Let's read the first sentence real quick and we'll close it. How about that? Former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been admitted to hospital after sustaining an unspecified injury during an official trip to Luxembourg, her office said on Friday. So, she tripped and fell. She pulled a Joe Biden. Ooh, you hate to see it. Man, Joe got his last laugh there. Got the malarkey, Jack. All right. Anyway, that's it. That's all I really have for today. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/news. Free ways to help me out, or not help me out, just send feedback, I guess. Or maybe you can tell me something, that'll help me out. How about that? Give me a tip. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to find me, follow me on any of the socials. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube. Hit that like button. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.